Excellence leader. Please welcome Mr. Yi Shu.
Hello everybody. Can you hear me? Okay? Okay. So my talk will be DevOps in China. So when I was invited, I don't know what to talk. When I talk about DevOps, it's to our clients. So what we sell. But then they said, no business, don't talk about this, but just tell us what DevOps in China. So it's a brand new topic to me. Not there is anybody talked about this at China too. And in my presentation, normally I have a picture introducing myself, but then I saw Steve's at the last. So here I have been worked at Nokia Networks before for several years, so that is why I saw Pekka Clark. I think, yeah, I know somebody here. And I have a friend, I have a colleague and friend. So I know some about the Finnish culture. He taught us. So I hope that if I didn't get any questions, I will have a queue after the presentation. And now I'm in GCG, so the China region, and the GDS business units, so that will affect something I understand about the DevOps in China. And we are in the central office. I'm leading the Agile DevOps Center of Excellence, and that is what I do. And also I translate books. So that's it. Before going on, I don't know if you ever asked one question in your mind. Do our clients really want DevOps? This is a tricky question, right? So, well, to my understanding is that when normally people want something, but actually they don't want that thing. They want something behind. So, if we talk about this, they want DevOps. Why? So they want the faster time to market, time to value. They want to increase their capacity to innovate. They want to improve their customer experience. And we tell them DevOps is the answer. Well, it may depend on who they ask. Somebody might say Agile is the answer, somebody might say that design thinking is the answer. But yeah, people say DevOps is the answer. So why DevOps can solve it? Because we say, well, DevOps have some ways to handle those. So first is we accelerate the software delivery, and the other part is we need to balance the speed, cost, quality, and risk. So that is what, when we do the DevOps, we need to consider those. And also we reduce the time to customer feedback. And that is in our philosophy. So later I will show how we understand about the DevOps. And when we try to sell this concept and also teach our customers the solutions, they have problems. They have problems to go to it. Many might be talking like they have shootable tools. We are not in the era that there's no tools, but no shootable tools. Everybody is different, every company is different. So they will consider, okay, that's not the tool for me. What do I need to use? And the second is the cultural difference. We know we have different types of enterprise or companies, startups, and different companies, the devs and the ops, they might be in different organizations, especially the traditional ones. So they have different culture. Bringing them together in the room doesn't mean they will collaborate. They might fight with each other. So that is something we need to overcome. And the third is the organization itself, the complexity and the business complexity. It matters how we can, make it happen. Or many people, so there is a survey. There is no such thing DevOps in China. Somebody has some report or article. But there was once a survey from the CSDN. It's a developer community at China, and 2014. So those three are kind of the top three barriers they mentioned, the people mentioned. Tools, culture, and the enterprise size. So I don't know how big is your organization when you sit here. So your organization, how big is it? But in China we have big organizations, small organizations, and somebody just say we are too big to do DevOps. So that is somehow one barrier. So the point is, who is your customer? Well, I belong to IBM. We do business. We have in-house. We have own developed groups. We do our own websites and tools, but we also sell DevOps solutions through that. So it's very important to understand what is our customer we are talking about. So first, in the China market, now there are several different people or folks who are doing DevOps, moving on DevOps. So first is the BAT, we call the biggest, the most famous internet company in China. So BAT Baidu is like Chinese Google, Alibaba, and Tencent. And they all have their own ways of doing the DevOps, or they would say continuous delivery. So they have different understanding, and they have used different tools to fit for their business. And you can see here are some pictures from their employees' presentation from some conference. I do have some, this picture comes from tooling support department of Baidu. So they are considering something different. And here is Tencent. Tencent has some like operation capability, platform capability, infrastructure. So they have all those different structures, and also the Alibaba. They might listen to each other. They might learn from each other, because they are not using the same solution, and they have very strong technical competence. So normally they don't consider buying other solutions from others. So that's not our customer. I would say they already have strong. So the point is, when they going to start selling their solutions, that might be something we will want. And the second is, the internet companies are actually becoming big, and they are becoming traditional like us. But then there comes to the mobile application development. There are many organizations start, they need to move on to mobile. Like the banks, even those traditional companies, they need to develop apps. And for the apps, the DevOps is much easier. It wants to be agile, and they need to release in a couple days. Even if you consider the banks release maybe in months, so that's different. And this is where kind of natural. And for us, we have also the IBM design business, and they are selling the IBM design thinking. So for those business, a big part customer is the app development. But they are not just selling the DevOps. They're selling the design thinking practices to figure out to design the right product. And also they run using agile methodology with very small teams. And for short-term project, and also using those tools. And the third type of customer is, if you know IBM, that banks are our core business. So nowadays, those traditional companies like the banks were moving towards agile. And also, of course, DevOps. They want to be faster. Just as we said, they want to be faster. They want to release more frequently. Those are the top 4 banks in China. So normally they have the big release every 3 months. It's predefined. All the systems need to catch that. It's kind of our trend, but it will wait. So they need to catch that. And then when they want to be agile, they want to be fast. We are not only talking about the web development or app development, but also including the mainframe. So then it becomes a headache. How we make DevOps happen for that? Because they certainly have a lead. And the fourth is, there is recent reviews that say the Jackbook has been takes the green card of China and moved to Beijing. And he mentioned he thinks the innovation center of the world has been moved from Silicon Valley to Beijing. And the China now is in an era of startups. Actually, the government are pushing us to run startups. So there are many small-sized organizations or companies, startup companies. They need to release very fast their product and to the market and to verify their assumptions. But they may or may not be our customer because they mostly need to also reduce initial infrastructure costs. So they don't really buy servers, they use the cloud. And then that is how those people sell the DevOps. There are several competitors in the cloud market. They are trying to provide the DevOps solution around cloud. So if those companies were building their applications on those Windows cloud, it's quite natural that they use their service. So that are the four types of the companies at the market. But then it comes to what we offer to those. So just as I described, maybe the market is big, is full of opportunity, but depends on what you can offer, there is a limitation. So what we are understanding and understanding of the DevOps might be a bit different from others. So at least from what I know from others, this is, we could say the IBM philosophy of DevOps. What I understand from outside is it's more about the develop, test, and deploy, and maybe including the operate. But the IBM philosophy has more extended into the business planning, continuous business planning in the beginning, in the front, and also after you release, continuously get the customer feedback and use it to refine your validated learning. So we say there are important four phases: is theory, develop, test, deploy, and operate. And then it's actually not building our solution around, but we already have solutions. So it's like reorganize our solutions around those into continuous business planning, so some services, some tools, and collaborative development. Normally we do it with Agile, we say Agile. And continuous testing, we have testing tools. Continuous release and deployment, continuous monitoring, all those things. So you could consider that is really our philosophy. And then I'm sure that there are also vendors doing this. But then for our needs, we have those traditional on-premise and also infrastructure as service and also platform as service. I don't think it's something new to you. But the problem for us is cloud at China is might be a problem. So especially for those traditional companies to consider a public cloud. And our competitors are not only the cloud company, but for example, Alibaba, they will provide also cloud. And they will also run into the internet finance market. They were offering internet finance cloud to those small banks. They were migrating their applications to that cloud, rather than, for example, our business things. But when we say trying to sell, IBM is a foreign company to Chinese. So the security thing becomes a headache. last year we got the Blue Mix really can be, how to say, imported to China. We can host that service. So you can imagine how hard it is. And also, IBM now is promoting the mixed cloud, hybrid cloud. So it's very hard to sell via cloud thing. And another problem is, for the type of traditional companies, in last slides, those companies not only have a single type of business, but they have all those different type of applications, including the we would call system of record, like mainframe, like the back-end system, and also the web applications, and also the app. So, for example, if the ICBC want to release some business product, you can buy it to operate it on your app or on your web. But then how it interacts with other systems. So we need to solve those problems. It's not simple anymore. So how they interact with each other? And they have different needs. Many times I have been asked the question that can mainframe development be agile? Or how you handle different types of projects? It's like they have they call it internet finance product with all those apps and the mainframe. So how they cooperate with each other? That is actually the biggest difficulties when we're helping our customers. So although we have the cloud-based DevOps solution, we're yet another picture, right? All those things. It's not my point to sell this, but just to show we have those. And this is a land cloud solution. But the problem is, even with the clients, they are using IBM tools. They have new tools. And also how to interconnect them. When we go to, for example, a bank client, we want to say, hey, to DEVOPS, they are interested. But they just don't find a way how to move into that direction. And also not a lot of the ops, but also the SSM, those guys, they don't really cooperate. And what they need to solve is actually first of the compiling. It's pretty sucks, right? Compiling issues. And also, but through this, the actual problem is how those people understand about the DevOps, and not DevOps, maybe continuous delivery or continuous integration. The problem we also have is even we could have all our tools deployed. Can they really check in that frequently? I have seen, I think there was a question about Git. What's the problem for us is if the developer doesn't change their habit of checking code every 5 minutes, it doesn't make sense to use Git or Subversion or anything. So to us is what we actually do more is consultancy. We need to convince them that is the right way. We need to change those teams' concept. So that is the first thing we need to do. And here is a picture, we're in Chinese, but it's an assessment of their DevOps maturity, and we give their suggestion how you move towards the direction. It's pretty rigid, right? But that is how you deal with those type of customers. And then the bottom part is, at the same time, we need to also sell them agile transformation. They need, we understand they need to do agile transformation so they could have the organization right. And the process can match with those tools and also the people, the mindset. So we don't think, not don't think, but for the traditional companies, you need to start with this. So how we how we make that happen? For my experience is we need to, and we are combining those three things together to convince the customer or the developers to move. I was required to say IBM design thinking because that is something required. I cannot just say design thinking. So the design thinking to make sure we have the right product, and the agile to make things fast, to deliver things fast, and DevOps to make it possible. I don't know if it's correct, but to positioning those three things distinguishingly, I would say that. So design thinking is make sure we are doing the right thing. And agile is doing things right. And DevOps, others may not agree with me, but DevOps for me is more about tooling. Get everything automated and connected with each other. Because you need to handle the process, right? You need to handle the culture. But when you I don't know how you get into the organization and say, let's do DevOps, and what you show them. If you say, let's do DevOps, and you show them tools, how it works, they will understand, they will interpret it as tools. So if you enter into the organization in that way, and you say DevOps also include culture, process, it's quite hard. So personally, I position that as Agile handle those process and culture and collaboration and those things. And we need DevOps expert to handle all those tooling parts. They need to be hands-on developers. And that is why when I asked that I'm no longer really taking it anymore. So they said, no worry, you just talk about business. So that is how we sell those right now. And this philosophy is somehow impacted or affected by our positioning. So I belong to this GBS City Office. We are GBS, so it's Global Business Consulting Services. So we are not selling tools. We are not. We are selling solutions to solve client problems. And we have the software group. They are running or developing all those rational, for example, rational tools and Bluemix those things. So that is why. So when we go to those customers, like the ICBC, the biggest headache for us is when we go to the mainframe, we want them, we have actually the team accept. We will split the requirements into very small chunks, like a developer can finish in 3 days, and also they split those tasks, and not in a component way. But then their problem is, how can I really check in every maybe 10 lines of code? Because in that process, well, they are using ClearCase, but I don't know if that's the biggest headache, is when they check in, it enters into the version control where it costs, maybe write the code is 5 minutes, but checking might take 10 minutes. And then you need to compile. And then you deploy it to the mainframe, and then you run. And if you need to do it quite often, that becomes a headache. So that's something we are facing. And that is why we believe this setting the design thinking and Agile and DevOps together is a way that we solve the problems. So that is vital. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions? All right. There you go.
Does DOMEX include any kind of solution to the Docker images registry, private registry?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Many of our clients are requesting Docker too because it's very popular but I don't think we have officially choose to focusing on broker. It's more about the GPS unit might provide the solution when client require. But I don't see, well, I don't have much deep insights in that. I'm sorry.
Any more questions? Okay. Then I think we will say 谢谢. Thank you.